So tell me when we're live. Oh, I see the little red button that we're live.
We are.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's almost good afternoon though. It's 11. So, well,
Yes,
I'm really good.
I might
really
have to go upstairs.
Okay, well, I'm going to probably walk around too because I'm actually sitting here. I can show you what I'm doing. I'm on my laptop. Did that just go sideways? Did I go sideways?
A little bit. It's fine.
Okay. Well, it's the story of my life. I'm a little cockeyed, but I'm just finishing sending off a home inspection. So we've been really busy. So, well,
I can hear. Sorry, I'm trying to open up this so I can see the comments and everything.
Okay, well, and I need to share it on my page too. So let me do that really quick. So bear with us, everyone, so we can share it on multiple places. So in case you're not watching us on Give Back Team, you can watch us on our personal pages as well. Let me grab that really quick. But so we, from a real estate perspective, have been quite busy. And so what we've elected to do is instead of coming live at 11 every day, Monday through Friday, we're now going to come live at 11, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right?
Yes. Monday,
so
Wednesday.
That way, and today's Wednesday, so that's why we're still today. All right, so why don't you tell everyone a little bit about what we're going to be doing?
So we're going to have topics for every day. So today is 5 things that you can do to increase your home's value in the quarantine. So basically, just things that you can do at home while you're stuck at home to increase your home's value.
Right.
And they're fairly simple things.
They are. So, and we'll just kind of go back and forth. And I think AJ might jump in at some point with us too. All right, let me just make sure I shared. All right, I'm just going to put.
Before we jump into that, I want to share this. I think that this was pretty cool. Virginia Association of Realtors came out with this. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, Ginger, but they polled several agents in the state, and they basically just asked, so this came out Monday, came out Monday afternoon. I had seen it yesterday and I thought that this was pretty interesting, but they asked how the coronavirus impacted the business in real estate for some of the agents. So I thought that this was really, really kind of telling, and we can talk about this a little bit more on our deep dive in Market Monday. But 10% of people said that they were removing their home completely from the market. 25% of sellers canceled open houses, which, as we know, that we're not doing open houses right now. We're doing virtual open houses. And then,
you cut in and out for a second. You went digital on me.
Sorry about that. So then, so 40% of people postponed putting their home on the market. Buyers deciding to delay home search was 56% of people. And then we'll skip down to the bottom. Almost 20% of people saw are seeing no impact with the virus in their business.
Well, and so that's actually really interesting. So I'm sitting in my kitchen and my daughter just came down. She's grabbing some food. So if you hear a little chaos in the background, I will move over to my to the office real quick. But so we just generally speaking, we haven't really slowed down. I don't know. I mean, you jump in because, Zach, you're director of our chaos, as we like to joke, but I've been putting on homes, like we're just planning on putting on another home on the market. We got the phone call this morning. So, some of our government entities are still getting orders to move, and not the military, but we are putting homes on the market right now. So, and there are buyers that are buying. I mean, we just received an offer on a home that we put on the market. When did we put that one on the market, Zach? 2 days ago?
Monday. Yeah. It went live. So yeah. It is really telling. I mean, the numbers are, when I looked at this yesterday, I actually was a little bit shocked just because this isn't, I wouldn't say that this is a very good representation of what we're seeing.
Right.
A lot of our sellers, aren't, we've had nobody remove their home from the market. Everybody that we've had, ready to go they're selling.
It's going live. Well, I will
Uh,
say that what we are seeing, what we did see with one of the homes is, oh, I think AJ's jumping in. But what we did see with one of our listings was the seller was no longer comfortable with people coming into their home. And
yeah,
so one of the things that we've been doing to become more virtual and still be able to list homes and show homes for our clients is over photographing the house. So our photographer, videographer is practicing, as much, social distancing as he can from people. And what we're asking is our sellers are vacating the property. They are already setting up the house. So all the lights are on. We're asking all the blinds are open, that the house is just ready for someone to walk in and photograph it. And so I'm going to be trying to pass him some more gloves, I think today or tomorrow morning. But going in and not really touching many surfaces as little as possible, but going in and photographing the house and then videoing the house. But, as realtors, we put up really pretty pictures, and we're actually in over photographing it. He's opening or he's photographing the inside of every closet, the utility space. He's trying to make sure that, we are your eyes if you're unable to cross the threshold. And so even in the videos, they're probably a little bit longer than we would normally do because attention spans are like that. But right now in this day and age, where people are not going into the home, they're relying on the video and the photographs to be able to, to see what the potential is of the house.
for sure.
So,
So one of the things, I know I pulled that chart down, but one of the other things that I'm seeing just in all of you and what the team is doing with the transactions is things are actually moving fast. You fast forward on a lot of things, let's talk about, pre-marketing and what we're doing. I mean, we kind of threw away the whole coming soon thing. If you're on the list, we're going fast and getting homes on the market. And
yep.
We've been successful in doing that. The last 2 listings that we've had, they went under. I mean, I know you just received an offer on one and the other one went under contract really, really fast. Actually the last 2. So, I mean, since we've been into this little pandemic, I think we've launched 3 listings in total, 3 or 3?
We launched 2 last Wednesday, and both are under contract. One had multiple offers on it. I think that one had like 12 showings in the first day that we had to stop, showings at some point. We just launched one just the other day, and I literally, before we jumped on this call, just forwarded an offer to our client. We're getting ready to launch. The photographs are in now. I don't know if you saw them, but they were shot yesterday.
They just came in, yeah.
And we're getting ready to launch that one. So they're coming on the market very quickly. And to your point, we're not doing the coming soons. We are launching them pretty much as we can because, and AJ can speak to this in a minute because he's working with more of the buyers. I'm working with more of the sellers, but it seems like, from the buyer's side, there's a rush and people are still showing homes. I know that, yesterday, AJ, we were talking a little bit with you about safe practices. You did show a home yesterday to a client. Right. So are you, let's talk about that for a minute. I mean, what are you seeing right now from the buyer's side?
I mean, buyers are still going out there. They feel like, competition is less, but that's not true because they're still just like them. They have to move. There's others that need to move and, their agents are out showing them houses as well. Mm-hmm. Just I don't think the tempo of the market has slowed down at all.
I don't either.
I think it's just being creative in how we're showing the properties and how we're listing the properties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And I think our topic today piggybacks right off of that. The 5 things to increase your home's value during the quarantine. And it's so Sunny Cruz commented. She said that we've updated the paint in our house after moving in, and we're looking at decking options right now too. Also, regrassing the yard. Spring is coming very soon.
Spring is here. Spring is here.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because our spring market, we joke that spring market, well, for us in the Northern Virginia area, spring market hit in January. I mean, people were, AJ, you can talk to like what was happening, in January, February, and early part of March, but from the listing side, we were putting listings on and we were putting them in coming soon. And even in coming soon, we were getting offers on them. They never even hit the market in some cases.
Right.
We would get multiple offers where we'd end up over list price. Buyers were giving up, doing home inspections, doing appraisals. It got very crazy. If you can speak a little to what was happening on the buyer side. I mean, you were on the other side of the coin.
Well, yeah, buyers, I mean, they were definitely weighing their options, not asking for closing costs, increasing sales price, waiving home inspection for void purposes only. And in some cases, buyers are willing to forego the appraisal, after they do their due diligence in terms of what they've offered and do they think the house would appraise, if the appraisal was in place.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, the houses are appraising for what they're offering.
Yeah.
So it's not a crazy amount. So it's not like, I don't want to scare anyone off in terms of, it's not like 2008 where the prices were going ridiculously high, overnight.
Right.
It's
Right.
a steady growth, and it's small amounts that they're going over in the list price.
Well, and I would
really quick. So as a seller and not knowing the industry and how it works, if I were to receive an offer on my house that said, here's a home inspection, but they can void the contract, could be a little bit scary to sellers. But Ginger, can you explain how that they're already invested at that point? So
yeah, that's a really good thing. So in Northern Virginia, we have 2 options for home inspections if they elect to do one. So one is the option to ask for repairs or void. And the second option is just to void for void purposes only. So the difference between the 2 of those is that, obviously with option 1, you can send the report along with what the requested repairs are. If there's something that, like let's say that there's mold in an attic and no one was aware of it and it's significant and it scares the buyer, at that point they can just void the contract. But they have vested that money for paying for the inspections at that point. So that's money that they've put out that they then will lose. If they're doing it to void, for the seller, that's a little more preferable because then they're not going to ask for inspections, although sometimes they still ask for items to be repaired, but they're not supposed to per the contract or what's agreed to. But, the seller can say, no, because that's not what we agreed to, but the buyer will still have that option if they choose to avoid the contract at that point. So the only thing for the buyer is that they have vested several $100s in the property at that point. So whatever the home inspection is going to cost, and I can tell you in our area, it varies, and it depends on if it's a townhouse or a condo or if it's a huge single family. But, you could be talking anywhere from maybe $275 to $700. It really does vary depending on what you're inspecting. So, and then there's other inspections other than the home inspection, they probably dropped a rate on, which could be anywhere from $125 to $250, depending on who you hire. And then with well and septic, if you've got a property with land, usually those inspections happen a little later because it takes a little more time to get them on the books. But so as a buyer, you have to also consider, what have I already invested in the property and is it worth me walking away after spending X amount of dollars already? So did I answer your question? I'm having a hair malfunction. I don't know if anyone's noticing. I keep playing with this piece of hair. So if it ends up like in the front of my face, or I cut it, I'm going to try not to take these to my hair, but there's all these memes about cutting your hair. Don't cut your hair while you're on quarantine. It could be me. I don't know. I'm getting ready to. This is driving me nuts. All right. Sorry.
Well, I mean, to your point, like if a home inspection comes back with mold or something, that's something that the homeowner is going to have to take care of anyways if the buyer does walk away, because now it's a known fact.
Right.
And you as a realtor would know that. So in most cases, I've seen where sellers will say, you know what, this is a major issue, not only for the buyer, but we're still living in this house and we don't want to continue to breathe in the bad chemicals or whatever it is.
Right. Right. If it's a material, we call them material defects. So mold would be an example. That's a 4-letter word that every realtor and homeowner never wants to hear. So we call that a bad 4-letter word in our world. But Just to get to the point though of getting through the home inspection, obviously as a seller's side of things, you'd prefer it to be with option to void. But in this market, obviously you'd prefer no home inspection. But for the buyer, then you're walking into, an unknown. So, you're accepting the property as it stands, basically. So AJ, have you written any contracts lately with the option to void versus to ask
Yeah.
for repairs, or have you waived home inspection in any recent offers you've
No, just
extended?
option to void.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't good enough.
Yeah. So it is a little crazy. So right now, now that people are self-quarantining and we have made the shift to be more virtual, going back to the over photographing from the listing presentation, we're trying to offer more ability to see online what's possible. We have some sellers that are actually snapping pictures, like for if we're getting a question about what does a transition or a threshold look like, because in the photos or the video that we do have, if it's not answering the question. So, everyone's trying to be as flexible as possible at this point because, some people don't want anyone in their home, which is understandable. And some people aren't comfortable with going into someone's home, but they need to buy a house. So it's just a really, it's kind of a team effort on all sides to try and make all these transactions work and be successful at it.
I think everyone is like starting to work together and understand that, we all need each other, except for when
Right.
it comes to go buy toilet paper at the stores. I think
Or eggs or milk, I think,
Right.
or bleach wipes. I think
Right.
those are the things that, there might be a little bit up, but even that, we were seeing such kindness. I mean, all over social media, we started a Facebook group called The Human Connection. I say the Human Connection. You have to put that in your search bar, but it's all about positivity. And we've got people across not only the United States, but in like 10 other countries. And it's all positive. And the inspirational stuff that people are posting every day it makes you feel good. And even within our realtor community and deals that we're trying to, close earlier because we don't know what's going to happen, or, everyone's just really working together, which is, I mean, it should be that way anyway, right? I mean,
But it's
Yeah, but
more
definitely,
evident
I mean,
now.
to your point, you have in the past several weeks, I mean, you're seeing a lot of, collaboration to get buyers and sellers to closing from both sides. Where before, in an upbeat, fast-paced market like we were in, just and still are, you typically, I mean, it's more a little bit cutthroat. It's, the highest offer wins. And I mean, you're really
Right.
seeing a lot of collaboration and agents working together to, better serve all clients involved in a transaction. So to that point, calling Ginger and saying, hey, I want to sell my house. What are some things that, or what is the first thing, I guess, that I can do to increase the value of my house right now when I'm ready to sell in quarantine?
Well, it's funny because it's kind of a double-edged sword on this one. So we do have people that are listing like right now. So my advice would be a little bit different for someone who's trying to get hurry up and get the house on the market today versus someone who's thinking of holding through the quarantine, holding through the worst part of all of this, and then putting the house on the market. So I'm going to talk to those people right now, because the person that's stuck in their house, if you're looking for a to-do project, I would say the first thing that you could do, and I always start with the 3 Ds, no matter what. So it's declutter, depersonalize, and deep clean. Those are always my first 3 go-tos. No matter what, if you're a seller, it's the 3 Ds of selling. So for me, I might share a picture, but I'm so embarrassed to do so. Being a realtor, I walk into everyone else's house and I give you guys some advice, and I'm also a stager. So I'll give you some advice on how to present a room. But I am so busy doing that for everyone else that I haven't taken my own advice. So we all have probably that closet, because I know I sure do, where when you open the walk-in closet, like stuff literally falls out on you. So I have that closet in full disclosure. And so for me, I'm going to start with the decluttering. So, I hope that when we're all able to come out of our homes and socialize and interact more normally than, what we're doing right now, that everyone's going to be putting that pink bag at their front, at their mailbox with the, the donation collection or whatever that is. Because I think right now we probably all could, declutter. I'm sure we can all declutter something. So my suggestion is for your own sanity to start with one closet and start decluttering. If you're planning on listing the house, in a month or maybe 2 months, when our true spring market, I think, in my opinion, will actually hit, because we're kind of deferring, I think, our chaotic spring market with our military moves here in the Northern Virginia area. So my first suggestion would be decluttering, and I need to take my own advice on that, and I will. So I might do a before and an after photo of one of my closets. And actually, let's make that a challenge. Let's all do a challenge and let's declutter one closet and do the before and after picture. Because the before picture is going to be truly embarrassing for me, but the after picture would be like one of those things where I'm going to feel a great sense of accomplishment. So my first suggestion is declutter and start with one closet and go around your house and declutter. Depersonalize. So if you are going to list the house, I always suggest removing, your personal family photos. Children's names on a door are great, but unfortunately now someone knows that your child's name and about maybe what age they are and who lives in that house. So I always suggest that you depersonalize your family photos, religious items, anything that's really valuable to you that you don't want someone to accidentally touch or knock over. Start packing those things and putting them away, because your plan is to move. So you want to make it as depersonalized as possible so someone can envision themselves moving into that space. So that would be my second one. And the deep clean, well, we've all got time for that. Hopefully everyone's got a lot of sanitizing products in your house right now. And just go room to room and start cleaning, really deep cleaning the house. If you have a carpet cleaner and you have pets, which I do, I feel like I'm carpet cleaning pretty much every other day in my house, but really do a deep clean, move the sofa and vacuum under it, and take the time while you're home to be able to really clean the house. And not only will that make you feel like you've accomplished something, but that clean, I don't know, for me, whenever I walk into a really clean house, it makes me smile. So it might help you right now too with putting a smile on your face. So those are the first 3 Ds for whether you're selling now in 10 minutes, we're going to list your house, or you're selling in, 4 to 8 weeks. Those are the 3 things.
Biggest things with that deep clean, we walk into, we're in and out of our houses all the time because we're always on the go. Our average, the average American person, they're in and out of their house all the time. Most people don't. Some people do stay at home, but some people don't. But I feel like, there are things that I miss in my own house that I can pick up in somebody else's house. The HVAC vents, might need dusted off. So that now is a good time to do that, especially before spring and all the, allergens in the air. So if you haven't done that, now is a good time to go ahead and do that.
And blinds, don't forget about your blinds, because if your blinds are down, you can probably take the time now to wipe down all your blinds. Your light fixtures, if you have, I have vaulted ceilings and I have a chandelier hanging, and it gets me every time when I walk down the stairs, I can see this one strand. So, if you have time now, obviously safely, see if you can, take out the ladder and actually wipe down, the big picture window maybe, and the windowsill that you see only when you're coming down the stairs. There's things that you might have more time to do now that you wouldn't normally, that when you are ready to put your house on the market, it's going to present very clean. Not that it's not clean, not saying that you're not clean people, but it's just areas that you don't necessarily always get to in a regular cleaning.
Right.
Yeah. That would be my suggestion. And then, Sunny mentioned about painting. So I do think, I'm not sure. So maybe someone can comment on this, or maybe AJ, I know you've been out and about, if Home Depot or, stores like Lowe's and things like that, or Sherman-Williams, or I don't know if the paint stores are open right now.
I know Home Depot and Lowe's is open because Jason was at Home Depot, a couple of days ago. One
of the contractors that we know, right?
Yeah.
So, if you have the opportunity to, look at your walls and you're like, well, I want to make it a little bit more, neutral for what today's neutral palette is. Like if you have I don't know, the greiges or the colors that are in the lighter grays, color of the year is a blue. So you can see maybe the wall behind me. I don't know if you can see the wall behind me or not. Oop. I think Melissa's also joining in.
Hi there, Sunshine.
Hi,
Hey, babe.
how are you?
Good. We're
Good.
talking about getting homes ready for market, but I don't know if you can see the wall behind me. I'm gonna lift my phone, but it's kind of like a
The
dark
color of the
blue.
year,
What's that?
the color of the year.
Yeah. And then the rest you can see I've got blue curtains. So that's something, from a staging perspective, if you don't want to paint something and you want to just add a pop of color. I mean, I'm not suggesting anyone goes to TJ Maxx right now, but you can always change your curtains to add the pop of color. But the rest of the walls in this office are actually like a very light gray. So, I would say gray, greige, light beiges are coming in again,
Sunny said that she went gray.
which is
Right.
perfect. You're right on trend. But I have
Greesh.
greige. It's gray and beige together. That's greige.
Did
I
you
know
make
it's
it
crazy.
up? That's not a
I'm
word.
not. It is a word.
Not a word.
Actually,
It is a
Sherman
word.
Williams. I will tell you right now.
AJ, AJ, is that a word?
It is, unfortunately.
AJ's heard me say that word a lot.
AJ,
But-
what's
Right now.
behind your head? What is this behind you right there, that thing sticking up?
A lamp.
He's
A
all
lamp?
fancy. He's
a
ready to
lamp.
go like live
No, it's a
on
lamp.
stuff.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
So I'm grabbing cords
Look
because
at-
I might die.
Can
I
you read
see.
it?
Oh, that's awesome.
No, it's called, I didn't do anything yet today. That's what it's called. Well, I have. I've been putting out fires galore.
So we were just talking about the market a little bit ago. So why don't you share with us about what's going on with the market with your clients right now, Mel?
I'm fortunate enough to have several clients that are ratified or trying to be ratified. And I think that there is panic widespread from everyone worrying about wanting to close earlier, not trusting the system, just a lot of freak out moments of
When you say not trust the system, what do you mean?
not have faith in me, in the fact that I'm going to make sure everything is okay. They just want to pull the trigger now and close, because we have a few that are extended out and they're just in panic. They're just like, get it done now. But with this comes people who live in these homes, or renters that are in the home. I mean, there's just so much. So it's best, on my extended timelines, to leave extended. And
Yeah.
let's get through this.
You've got it. I mean, people, that's what we were saying before, that we all just need to kind of work together. And it is very stressful. It is very stressful for sure. So, so Melissa, are you showing we're just kind of talking about getting homes ready for market, but just since you just jumped on, are you showing homes now, or how are you managing the virtual world of our virtual reality?
I am not. I am very fortunate, because my last active, ready to pull the trigger instantly, AJ helped me through, and another agent. But right now, all of my buyers are watching what's going on, and I have no one banging down my doors to go out today. I am not going out. I have one last order coming from Wegmans today, of beverages, because I have teenagers in this house. One mass order coming in today, and then we're shut down for 2 weeks. Nothing comes or goes. Yesterday we got wings and pizza. Wiped everything down before it came in the house. Made my daughter's boyfriend wear a bandana in with gloves. He said he came out and he goes, "I robbed the chicken."
Oh my gosh.
And my
That's
husband went
hysterical.
in to pick up the pizzas and refused to even wear rubber gloves. He's like, "I'm not doing that."
One
Like-
of our ideas collectively was to put a camera in our office and just like live stream all day. I think
Yeah.
we need to like live stream the cameras in all of our houses, and so just
Oh my
people can
gosh.
see our chaos.
Oh my gosh, you'd see
I
me
think-
as they come out, wash your hands, lice all the doorknobs, you know?
Yep.
But we've all been here since last Sunday, a
Yeah.
week ago Sunday, with very minimal, and I mean minimal. We had a mishap one day. I was taking a nap because I do that sometimes. And I woke up, my daughter said, I have something to tell you and you're gonna kill me.
Oh no.
Her friends pulled in the driveway. Her two best friends, her best friend and her boyfriend, who are quarantined at his house, and
She's been working every day.
Mariah's been working.
Yeah, she's still, like, her last day was work was yesterday. So they like.
Yeah. So, yeah, they pulled in the driveway and they went out there and chit chatted like everything was okay. Not at a safe distance.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Have you kicked your kids out of the house then? I'm still having a hair malfunction. I'm sorry. So if you, I can't with this hair. It's driving me
I
crazy.
was so mad. I threatened to put them all out.
It's because that one piece belongs on that side.
I know, but if I put it on, do you see this? What
That's the problem, though. When you straightened it, you did it wrong, and that's supposed to go on that side.
I know. I washed. I
I
promised
smush your
everyone.
head. I smush your head.
I
I
took
pushed
a
it.
shower today, and I didn't dry my hair right away, and so because I was dealing with
The
a home
question is,
infection-
did you really shower?
I did. I've been up since about 5:30. So
He
I
really
was.
has.
What's
It
that?
started early today.
It
And
did.
so, you know what's funny is we always group when we have clients, we always start a group text message and everyone's all together. Well, Ginger's phone, and I think that it's happening to everybody. See, that's better. Now it's all on that side.
I know, but it's sticking straight up. But anyway, continue.
Oh
So
my gosh.
so she
How
sent a
crazy
text
is that?
message last night at 12 o'clock. She didn't send that. You know, she was sleeping at 12 o'clock.
Do you
And
see
I'm
this?
like, oh my gosh, the clients are gonna get a text message at 12 o'clock, and that's not even like,
No, I need my check.
yeah. It's happened every night with this one particular group.
Well, it's so okay. So we have iPhones, and I think that they have Androids. And I think right now I literally did shut down my phone. I shut down my laptop, and I just literally I turned it all the way down. Which half the time I don't do it every day, but I did last night because it's true. So now I'm just calling them directly. I'm not even dealing with the idea of texting. I'm kind of over the texting because I just don't want them to get a text message at the wrong time. So I am really having a hair malfunction. So don't mind me over here. It's just it's
Stop.
not working.
Leave it
it's
alone.
fine.
Leave
I
it
need a
alone.
hat.
Leave
So-
it alone, Becky.
I
We
need your
talked
hat.
about
So
decluttering.
other things to get your house ready for market. So Melissa, since you just joined last, we were talking about the top things that you could be doing while you're home to get your home ready to put on the market when you're ready. So
and to increase value. It was always
and to increase the value. So my first three things are always the same. And I'll just recap since you weren't here for it. It was declutter, depersonalize, and deep clean. So what would you add to your piece of advice for a seller that's looking to increase the value of their home being stuck there now?
Well, the major component of all of this is finding an excellent real estate agent who is going to make sure that you're successful in the sale. So this is a great time to reach out to those agents and hold a video interview. See who's most qualified, who makes the most sense to you, who has the most knowledge, who has the most supporting team. That's number one, is finding your agent. Yeah, it truly is. Because if you don't have that and you're not priced right, you're not
Mhm.
marketed properly, really doesn't matter what the inside of your house looks like.
I do agree. That's true. For sure. That's true. To be able to get someone to walk through the threshold, whether it's physically or virtually.
This is
Uh,
also a great time to take care of nail holes, be patching walls. This is stuff that barely toss all your, like, your sweat work that you can do that doesn't cost money. Do it now.
AJ,
Yeah.
what do you think? What do you think about that?
I mean, I agree with what Melissa's saying. I mean, now is the time to, like, those projects that you bought the supplies for and they're sitting in your garage or in your closet saying, hey, I'll get to it. Now is the time to do that. In terms of patching nail pops, tape lines, painting a room, changing out fixtures. Like if you have the old brass gold, if you've bought now's the time to do all of that.
No, I agree. And changing handles and hinges is definitely time consuming. So
It took 2 to 3 hours tops.
What's the biggest thing we all notice when we walk into houses? Doors, filthy doors, filthy, disgusting doors. Clean your doors.
yeah,
Clean your chair molding. Clean all. That is like simple.
Yep.
You know.
stuff that you can do. You probably have a supply in the house that you could do it with. The other thing, I mean, to AJ's point, I know Amazon is delivering, at least I know that they're still delivering non-essential things, because my daughter had ordered something. My husband's birthday is tomorrow, you guys, and I have nothing for him because I always
Hey,
plan
I'm
something.
going to Costco. I'll get you a Costco cake.
Oh, no, that would be more for me, not for him. An apple pie would be for him. But I usually bake him every year. I try and bake him like an apple pie, and I do, like, so this year I'm going to get creative and I'm going to put something on the Human Connection Facebook page that we have about it, just asking for other suggestions. But I'm going to give him like a little coupon book of, kisses and, back rubs or whatever, that kind of stuff. Don't stop.
But will he actually?
Listen, listen,
Keep it clean.
if I gave a coupon book, they'd be like, what is this? No, this is like, it's every day. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's so funny. Well, I mean, and Dave would never, my husband would never like actually probably, hand me a coupon, but I mean, I have to be a little more creative. But what I was trying to say was that I didn't realize that Amazon would still deliver, because I thought they were trying to really just deliver, essential things at this point. But she did order my husband a little something, and it's supposed to be delivered on Friday. So first of all, thank you for all the delivery people that are still working. And I know that they're employing a lot more people doing this stuff. But what my point was that you may have the ability to order like hinges and handles online, where you don't necessarily have to walk through a store threshold. And I can show you what my hinges look like. I actually did that a while ago when we did all of the painting, in my house. I did order online some hinges and handles and stuff like that. So, you can do those projects, and those projects do take time, but they definitely are noticed when we walk through a house with our buyers too. And same thing with the fixtures. Those are definitely things you guys, I'm sure, would agree that when we walk in a house, the brass is something that we notice, or, if it's been updated, it's definitely something that we notice. What do you guys think?
Agreed.
Oh, grass has to go.
Yeah.
Every
I
day
mean,
walk
there's
through
this,
the door, I'm like, oh, I gotta replace
there's-
all these.
there's still gold. I mean, so gold is
Zach,
kind of from a,
you got the gold in yours. I see it.
I do. So yeah, that door has one. All of my doors, every single one.
Oh my God. So guess what Zach's going to be doing today?
he's on Amazon already, I'm sure.
I ordered toilet seats from Amazon. Oh, the bird.
You need toilet seats.
I ordered toilet seats because we're on well water.
Oh,
And I think after a year, all those gases and nasty water, they're clean, but they're brown. When you lift it up,
Oh, Yeah.
it's nothing. I ordered toilet seats. I ordered a shed.
a
I
shed.
ordered lighting.
did you buy a car too? What's going on over there?
I
You
almost
order
pulled
cars
the
from
trigger.
Amazon?
I almost pulled the trigger and bought a car yesterday. And the vehicle I had sent him the price out, he sent me pricing and I'm like, okay, I'll take it. But when I looked closer, the VIN numbers didn't match. And I wanted the Premier Reserve. He had just priced out the Premier. And then it was just like, what am I even doing?
Well, when you said that, I was laughing. I was like, okay, is Uncle Louis bringing a car, like dropping it off in the middle of the night when you said the VIN numbers don't match? I don't know. I just like made me
Oh,
think of,
no, but I just think that the vehicles I want are really expensive. And like, in spite of everything that's going on right now, if I was working normally and knew
It'd be
everything
different.
was gonna pan out, I'd get it.
Yeah.
Because I work
Yeah.
hard.
yeah, no, for
deserve it.
sure.
But I just don't think so. So I put in an order to Wegmans.
An order to Wegmans versus a brand new car. I think that was a smarter choice.
Might have
In my
ordered a
opinion.
pair of shoes. I don't know. I ordered
Well,
a pair of Doc Martens because you can just never go wrong with Doc Martens.
true. That's true.
Melissa, I feel like you have a pair of shoes for every day out of the year.
Well, and AJ's the sneaker dude.
No, that's Melissa.
Well, that's Melissa too, but I
I
think you
definitely spend at least an hour a day looking at sneakers.
How?
What do you mean how? It's like you and your addiction to Target.
But see, like I go in there and I'm like, I know what I want. Like I might want new sheets. I might want like clothes.
I don't
I've
know. I
been
think you're all
spending hours and hours looking at cars. I ain't gonna lie.
Hours.
AJ
dude.
is cars.com guru.
We went to bed at like 2 and I was easily up till 3:30 pricing out vehicles.
my gosh.
Now is the time to do it though, with the 0% for so many.
Well,
see
yeah,
something
but
funny?
most like Nissan's only 0% for 36. And
No,
then
they have 60 months too.
well, if you go to 72, it's 2.9.
But
You
still,
might think this is mean, but it's really not. They really like it.
What is it? What are they doing? Wait. Oh, those are two of Zach's babies. They're so cute. Are you doing the light?
Yeah, they
Oh my gosh,
love
I do
it.
that- I do that with my cats. They love it too. They like go crazy. All right. So, in talking about interest rates for buying homes is still low also. So if you are a buyer and thinking of buying, interest rates right now are still really low. It'll be interesting though to see how lending continues to go forward. Because I was talking to one of our lenders last night, Sandy. I think she jumped in on our call yesterday with some comments, but that we might start seeing some bumps in the road with getting loans locked. So, but interest rates are super low right now. It's still a good time to buy a house as well as maybe a car. What do you guys think about that?
agree. Ooh, excuse me. I'm so tired of sitting. I am so tired of sitting. It's ridiculous.
Have you like showered and everything? Like you got it. You have to.
Yeah, I
read those
showered. I
You have to
showered.
get up.
and
No, I
keep it
showered
motivated.
already. Look at
Like
it.
I dressed up today. Not going anywhere, but I dressed up.
Well,
Yeah.
I am going. I'm going to a final walkthrough today for a closing. I have the buyer, and we're doing the closing. We were supposed to close on the 31st, and we were able to get everything in place to close today. And the seller is actually doing a post occupancy where they stay in the house beyond closing because they're buying another house. And so that was all in place well before all of this. But so I'm actually going to meet the client. I'm going to open the front door. All of the lights are going to be on. All of the doors are going to be partially opened. And my client is literally going to try and walk through the house like this with her hands under her arms. I mean, that's kind of the practice that we're crisscross hands a sauce. I don't know what, like applesauce when you sit with your legs crossed, but she's going to walk through the house. It's the townhome, walk through the house, walk back down out just to put her eyes on everything to do her final walkthrough and then leave and I'll lock the door back up. So I'm not even going to enter the property. The sellers are exiting the property for her. She's going to walk through, walk out. And then tomorrow is going to be closing. So, so we're doing, today I actually am going out. That's why I'm in jeans. I don't know if you can see my jeans, but I am dressed, showered and ready to go. Having a hair malfunction, but it's raining here anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter. But so closings are happening, walkthroughs are happening, buyers are still walking through homes, it's still all happening. And AJ was showing a house just yesterday. So, but going back is really the topic today that we were trying to hit was how you can increase the value of your home while you're stuck at home. And so I think just to reiterate, it's definitely, the 3Ds at first, the deep clean, the declutter, and the depersonalize. And then to everyone's point, if you have the ability to do the touch-ups on things or projects that you've had, sitting and waiting for your home, if you can paint the walls now, I would say definitely take that time. If you can get the paint, you don't have it. If you can safely get the paint, I don't know if you can call ahead, pick the color, you can definitely shop online for colors. And I mean, do you guys agree that most of the contemporary homes that you're seeing have the grays in them right now?
Yeah, I mean, from what I see in listing photos and walking into homes, yeah, for sure.
AJ, what do you say? What is the most common color you're seeing on walls today?
Gray or Gruge or whatever you said it was.
Gruge.
Write that
Greige.
down.
Gruge.
It's a gruge.
Gruge.
Hey, Mel, what about you?
I see a lot of the blue right behind you, blue accent
Yep.
walls everywhere.
Yep. Yeah. So if you're thinking of doing an accent wall, the color of the year, like I said, is kind of like this blue color here. But you can Google it. There's different shades of the blue. Some people are going more towards the lighter tealish blue. But you can see Sherwin-Williams has their color of the year posted. The Pantone color of the year is a darker blue like this. And then pink is actually a shade too.
Just to touch on that really quick, as we walk through houses, I mean, how many houses do we walk through? And people, like, now is a really great time to really evaluate your whole home, because
Zach, you need to paint your walls too. You got you make your kitchen look too dark with the.
no, it's country. It's like this for a reason. It would make sense if you were here. It's cute. And don't judge my colors. I've got a whole thing going.
Zach's
I will cut
house is
you.
actually like could be in he
Cracker
has
Barrel?
the cutest house.
Yeah.
It is
So,
so cute.
We going through homes and seeing everything that we see, we might see a lot of neutral colors in main living areas, and then there's that one room that has like a burnt orange or something like that. So now's the time to cover that one wall that you've been that doesn't match the rest of your palette,
Yeah.
because
And
that's a big deterrent for buyers. They come in and that's the one thing that they remember. I mean, you could have had the nicest countertops in your kitchen, all stainless steel appliances, but that burnt orange wall is going to stick with buyers.
yeah, no, or burgundy. I mean, the burgundy color is a color I would say if you could neutralize, that would be good. And wallpaper, and definitely the borders, in the kitchens, like any borders and things like that, I would suggest if you can take those down, and that's time consuming to do that. It was time consuming probably to put it up, but prepare for it to take you a moment to get it down also. Because a lot of, those
the little cow borders.
Yeah, or we actually saw one home and it had a border that was a handcrafted one, and it, in theory, was an interesting idea, but just from a presentation standpoint, probably wasn't quite what it was intended
Was
to
it
look.
painted leaves?
No, it was actually an exterior plastic barrier for keeping dirt in. You know how you can, on a sidewalk, you can put that barrier in?
Lattice?
It was kind of like that, but it wasn't, it was more decorative than designed to actually hold mulch in. It was more decorative, but they spray painted it. And it wasn't the seller. It's not the seller or the homeowner. It was actually the tenant. And it was tacked up in the kitchen where it's easy to come down. It wasn't like glued to the wall or anything like that. But it was a decorative touch. But one of the first things that we suggested when we walked through it for our first consultation was, please take that down, because it just didn't
Doesn't
look right.
flow well with the room. And so,
Right.
and that's the biggest thing, everyone, I have my bathroom down here. It makes sense and it's themed the way I want it, but I know that I live here. If I was to sell this house,
Do you live there?
I would, and everywhere else apparently, but if I were to sell this house, that's not something that somebody, you know, would
What do you
want.
have in your bathroom? Should I even ask?
So here, I'll actually show
Well,
you. And this
His
is
home
why.
is more Americana. I mean, your
Yeah, my
your
home
style-
is it's very different, but this bathroom is orange.
right.
This would
Oh.
not be something that somebody would want, you know, moving into a new home.
So what's the
Right.
theme behind the orange?
It was all just it was actually orange when I bought the house, and I just made it work.
Oh, okay.
Everything in there goes with it now. So,
Right.
but yeah, my house
But-
is very Americana, and
Yeah, it's very Americana. It's very Cracker Barrel-esque. Like it's very homey feeling. So it's a suggestion for a possible seller. So if you were Zach right now and you were to go get a can of paint, maybe neutralize that orange. However, if all of your decor doesn't match what what the contemporary thought is of what it should be, remember, you're not moving and restaging. If you're not moving all your furniture out, what I would suggest is that you keep it somewhat in the theme, but try and neutralize the palette as much as possible. So, in my house, because I've taken all of the gold fixtures and, just to kind of share with you a little bit, like this one light fixture, it's a little more contemporary. I did put, in my office, I did take what used to be, I don't know if you can see it, but I had a brass fixture that looked more like a banker fixture in the middle of the room. That was the light. I removed that. I capped it. So if I ever want to put something back there again, but I added, the 4 recessed lighting to make it more contemporary. But some of my furniture is a little bit more traditional. Like my desk is I don't know if you can see it, but it's a very traditional desk. My bookshelves are very traditional. So you also have to work with the furniture that you have.
yeah.
But what I would suggest for sellers is minimize the furniture that you have. So if you have oversized furniture in a room, take in the decluttering, make sure that when you're walking in a door, that you're not bumping into a piece of furniture. So in a bedroom, for example, if you walk through the master door and the dresser is right there and you're walking into the corner of the dresser, that's probably not the best placement because you want to see more of the floor and more of the room, not the big furniture. So if you need to also start editing pieces, walk into each room and stand at the threshold of the door and
You got real slow
say,
motion.
looking at what do I see? And I what?
Hold on, just stop talking.
Me?
Yeah.
All right, everything that you said, like in the past 80 seconds, say it again.
Oh my gosh, did I just freeze?
You were like,
Slow motion.
I can't lie, I kind of liked it.
So, okay, I won't move. What I was saying was that I suggest every room that you stand at the doorway and look inside the room and from the doorway and say, okay, how will the picture look if I take a picture standing right here? And when you look down at the floor, that's what I suggest you look at first. You want to see as much of the floor as possible as a seller, as a buyer. So as a seller, you want to take away whatever you can off of the floor. That's clutter. The more floor, the more perception of space in a room there is. So also another thing is, as you're standing in the doorway, I don't know if I got choppy when I said this, but when you're standing in a doorway for a bedroom, for example, you do not want to look at the corner of a piece of furniture. So if your dresser is right up to where the doorway is, and when you're walking into a room, there's a piece of furniture that's blocking the flow and the openness, move the furniture down the wall or remove it from the room if you can. So the other thing, just from a fourth big tip would be move the spatial, keep spatial, keep the space open as possible. So remove pieces of furniture that you don't need in the room, put it in your garage, put it in your vacant storage space, just get rid of it because in a room, less is more. So that would be my fourth tip. And then the fifth one to increase value would be start really looking at your kitchens, your bathrooms, and your bedrooms, because those are the ones that are going to be most photographed. Those are the ones that people are going to be most drawn to look at first. And those are the ones where you're going to get the maximum amount of return on your investment. So, if you're thinking of painting the kitchen cabinets, if they're the old oak and you're thinking, I might paint them, depending on your palette, white's a pretty neutral color for cabinets still now. Some people with the islands are offsetting that with a different color, like a gray island with white cabinets. But you can also, since you might have time, look online at some of the, the home magazines. Look at, some of what you're seeing on the runways for colors, because actually what you see on the runways for colors in clothing are actually what follows in a home as well. So those would be my 5 tips: declutter, depersonalize, deep clean. And then in decluttering, the fourth one is really spatially in a room, what can I remove? And the fifth one would be updating your kitchens, your bathrooms, and your bedroom. So those would be my 5.
Awesome.
So, all right. Well, I know we try and go an hour, and I think we've probably gotten there.
We are 4
Right?
minutes too. So yeah, we're good.
We did that yesterday. So we really appreciate you guys jumping in, and any questions that you have on getting your home listed, please do let us know. You can either drop a message on this, or you can go to our website, which is givebackteam.com/virtual. And you can actually get a meeting like this with myself, or a one-on-one meeting with AJ, one-on-one meeting with Melissa. We're happy to answer any questions that you have. If you're a buyer, there's a place that you can schedule an appointment with Melissa or AJ to discuss your options with buying. And, anything we can do to help you guys, we're here to virtually do that. And I would suggest, if you found any information valuable in this, and I know we kind of digressed a little bit, but we're going to do this live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11. And we're going to post these on our YouTube channel. So you can please find us on YouTube and follow us there. And you can see some of the past episodes if you've missed those as well. We're calling it Live at 11. So I guess with that, I will say, see y'all later.
Have fun
All
at
right,
your
bye.
final walkthrough.
Yes, thank you. All right, bye everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.